Hey guys, Boss and Ramos. And if the news couldn't get any worse for this Miami Dolphins team 4 weeks into the season, just wait. There's more. Um, Very saddened by this. Saw it happening live on Monday, and didn't think anything good of it. Obviously, and that is obviously the Jaelan Phillips news. Jaelan Phillips is officially out for the season. He tore his right ACL and will have knee reconstruction surgery, and it will keep him sidelined for the remainder of this season. So, let's talk about it. This is the second consecutive year that Jaelan Phillips has a season-ending injury. Last year was the Achilles injury on Black Friday game against the Jets, and then you add on this one where he had quite a speedy recovery in a position that is very demanding, especially of his lower body. So, um, he grinded the hell out of that rehab and made the best recovery possible that he could, and was able to start the season for the Dolphins. Should he have taken it a little bit slower? Maybe, but he's a competitor. He wants to help this Miami Dolphins team win. And it's not to his fault because he was probably one of the better players out there on defense. Pretty much once Jaelan Phillips went out on Monday night, the floodgates kind of opened for this Tennessee Titans run game. I'm not saying that Jaelan Phillips was the sole reason for that. Obviously, just fatigue for most of these guys on the field, constantly being on the field defensively, definitely played a part into that. But at the end of the day, his injury was significant in terms of stopping the run versus not stopping the run in the second half of this game. So really quick, we're going to see where we think the initial injury happened and then where we know like he officially got off the field after that. So this is halfway through the second quarter. You'll see Jaelan Phillips right there in the center screen collides with Jordan Poyer, unfortunately, and bangs his knee and had to get slightly helped out the field. He does go into the blue tent and gets evaluated. They do put a brace on him, and he does come back into the game. But this is where things went from bad to worse. Right here, non-contact, has to get off the field. Literally stops dead in the tracks on the play. And right then and there, you already know that things are not looking good for him. He ended up going and getting further evaluation in the locker room. And it was pretty much over at that sense. And it sucks because this is such a phenomenal young talent that the Dolphins have on their team with Jaelan Phillips. If healthy, probably one of the best contributors in all of the NFL. That's not me, tooting his horn and being a Dolphins homer. Like, his production is big time. And so him being out there versus him not being out there is very detrimental for this Dolphins team, especially when you're already starting the season without Bradley Chubb. The development hasn't necessarily been there yet for Chop Robinson and Mo Camara. And you had to go back and sign a guy you cut in the offseason, Emmanuel Ogbah, because of these setbacks that they've been dealing with. Now, not to drag Jaelan Phillips' name in the mud, first I'm going to talk about his initial statement saying that he was injured. So he posted on his Instagram, and I quote from Jaelan Phillips. During the game on Monday, I suffered a season-ending knee injury that will require reconstructive surgery. I believe that our lives are defined by how we handle adversity. In these moments of uncertainty, defeat, and sorrow, it is natural to question your purpose and wonder what is the meaning of this pain. I know that my purpose is to inspire people to never give up, no matter how many times you get knocked down. I am a living testimony of the power of resilience and faith. I feel strength in knowing that my God is greater than any obstacle. Through him, I will persevere, and there is nothing that you can't overcome as long as you don't quit. The mission is still the mission. I have unfinished business to take care of, and I will come out of this trial victorious. Thank you for all of your continued support and love. Fins up. Then added also on the Instagram caption itself, I bleed for this game and my team. I'm devastated to have missed another season, but my resolve has never been stronger. I'll be back. Powerful message from Jaelan Phillips there. Um, it sucks. It sucks 100% for Jaelan Phillips. I can't imagine, one, the pain he's going through, and just, rehab sucks. I had recently injured my knee quite 2 years back, and I had to do some rehab for it, and it sucked. It sucked so much. And then still to this day, I have some pain in that knee. Unfortunately, I haven't had any surgery for it, but that's not who we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Jaelan Phillips and his injury / also his injury history. So, let's talk about it. Jaelan Phillips, ever since going into college, has had a very, very rough injury history. So, literally in his freshman year, sprained ankle, nothing too crazy. Then he finally came back and then had a concussion. So he only played 6 games in his freshman season. To keep it moving, he was in a car crash that he had to undergo multiple operations and remove multiple bones. Not great. But he persevered once again, paid through all that pain for the first 4 weeks, and then he suffered yet another concussion. And everyone was telling him to retire at 19 years old. It's just, things have constantly gone against Jaelan Phillips. He did step away from the game for a while in college, came back. When he did, he transferred to the University of Miami. And that's where his career started to, take an upwards trajectory after going down with all these injuries. And then, unfortunately, now back last year towards ACL, right after Thanksgiving. It just you can't make this stuff up. It's very unfortunate for Jaelan Phillips. I feel for him. Physical pain is just unbearable, and just hoping the best for Jaelan Phillips. What does this mean for the Miami Dolphins, though? It means that, one, the young pass rushers on this team need to develop at a faster rate right now, because they don't have the luxury of sitting behind a Jaelan Phillips. And then when Bradley Chubb comes in, sitting behind a Bradley Chubb, they're going to need to step this up a bit, because not to be dismissive towards Phillips' efforts, but pass rush has almost been non-existent. Yes, the Dolphins have managed to almost get a sack in every game, but it's not where it needs to be. You're getting sacks because of defensive coverage instead of going out there and just getting immediately to the quarterback. The pass rush has not necessarily been the best right now. And it's not going to get any better with Jaelan Phillips going out. So it's a tough spot for the Miami Dolphins. And then if we want to add on to this, I'm going to take off Jaelan Phillips thing up there, because we're not talking about Jaelan Phillips right now. We're talking about Tyreek Hill. This morning, woke up, Tyreek Hill tweeted, woke up to some trade news, and then he also added on to it when he was asked today what he thinks about Kansas City. He's like, I want to be in Miami. I don't know what the hell's going on. He was definitely frustrated again in that Tennessee Titans game. It seemed like nothing was being able to go his way, whether it was inefficient play calling or just the lack of ball placement, etc. Things are not going well for this Dolphins organization right now. 1-3 through the first 4 weeks. Injuries are piling up to significant players. It's not looking good. Anyways, hoping and praying for Jaelan Phillips to have a speedy recovery, and just not to rush himself back from this injury, but take his time, go through the process, come back next year. The season's done, unfortunately, for Jaelan Phillips. Not necessarily 100% for the Dolphins, but we're inching closer and closer to that type of point, because, it's 1-3. Dolphins can still go on a magnificent run, but the season is not easy. This was supposed to be the easiest part of the season for the Dolphins in terms of strength of schedule and just opponent matchups, all this, and it's not looking any easier down the road. So let's see what the Dolphins can make of the rest of the season. Let's see how these young pass rushers can develop. But as it stands, Dolphins are in a very tough spot, and you just got to, one, feel for Jaelan Phillips, and then two, just have concern for what the Dolphins are going to do and how they handle the situation moving forward. But that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.